back out onto the field with
We're
a
back.
2-0 lead thanks to
Cuba.
Dempsey's goal. 46 games going on in terms of World Cup qualifiers. We'll stick with CONCACAF. Canada's leading Honduras 1-0. That is at halftime. We had Trinidad and Tobago 1-1 versus Guatemala. A final, Mexico over Jamaica by the count of 3-0. Let's go downstairs to Pedro Gomez.
JP, I spoke to Bob Bradley during the halftime, and he said he's pleased. He said it was a solid first half, but there are still times that they have to move off the ball and release more. He says the grass is high and it's making for tough bounces. One other thing, DeMarcus Bradley has switched his studs on his shoes. He's gone to the longer ones. Beasley, I'm sorry, Beasley. And he will be wearing the longer studs, which should prevent a little bit of that slipping and sliding that he suffered from so much in that first half. Guys?
Thanks, Pedro. We'll see what that does. What does that do as a former player? I mean, he made that decision at halftime.
I don't understand why he's not wearing the longer studs to begin with. The rainfall here was about 3 hours prior to kickoff. The field is thick, it's heavy, so, you know, hopefully he can keep his footing. There's some of the U.S. fans getting into this, traveling down here, supporting the U.S. side.
We're going to see that one change. Munoz has come out, which is interesting because he seemed to be a pretty effective player in that first half. Cervantes, number 9, has come on. USA, uniform. Cuba
I don't believe in the USA.
What do we look for, John, here in the second half? What would you like to see?
Well, I think some changes here. A little bit better passing out of the back and just a combination play. The angles of runs that Bob Bradley just mentioned. Very important. I think the timing of the goal in the first half was good, but now that confidence is bigger and better going into the second half, then let's capitalize on that. Continue to put the pressure on Cuba at home.
Quick shot.
Watching the Cuba and USA game.
That's how quickly something can happen in qualifying, and with these kind of conditions, the Cuban fans are loving the effort from Linares.
This is a young player, and it's a young team from, you know, Cuba. You think about it, Linares getting a good strike just over the top, testing Tim Howard. You always want to keep a goalkeeper honest as much as possible, and we're going to get something on the frame. They haven't tested Tim Howard much, really, JP, in that first half.
Certainly they had more offensive opportunities against Trinidad. Their coach talked about it, said they were very unlucky in losing that game. They got a player down for the U.S. on that far side of the field. Thought it was Dempsey initially.
He was down in the first half with stretching out his calves and his Achilles, and it looks here as he's challenging, he just puts his head down there. Oh, he gets kicked in the face. Tough to see exactly from this angle, but it looks like it.
Good to see him back, though, out there because he left the field in some discomfort at the end of the first half. The good thing for him was that he was able to get treatment right there at halftime. So the team didn't have to make any decision until after they could give it a good evaluation. Linares, he looks good. He Pierce. The look was for Chink.
Those type of balls out of the back, again, JP is just doesn't give much of a chance for Chink. Yeah, underneath it. Better to zip it into his feet if he can. He's a big, strong player, likes to hold players off defensively. He did a good job in Guatemala bringing other players into the game while keeping possession as that front man.
Knocked ahead by Domingo, looking for the new player, Cervantes. Sedu played it upfield. That's better. Ching held it for Bradley. Bradley held it even longer. He was going to switch it. Now we'll play it safer to Maurice Sedu.
That's good patience from Bradley. Looking at other opportunities. The more the U.S. keeps the ball, the better it is. They open the game up, and again, technical things breaking down there with Marcus Beasley in the midfield. Something they want to kind of minimize in the second half.
Dude!
Stepping up calmly, winning it was Bocanegra.
Still 1-0. 48th minute.
Frankie Hayden starting in Chirundalo's spot. Chirundalo able
Are you a
to come
football
back with
player?
the team.
Yes, I am.